everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how I packed for Iceland in this Kanken bag. So first of all, I'm hot in this sweater. I'm going to tell you how I packed for a full week in Iceland in a Kanken bag because I was silly and bought a basic economy ticket, and I realized that Iceland, you didn't get a carry-on bag. So I only had a personal bag available for me. Yes, I could have spent the extra money on carry-on bag, but why would I? I could just spend that money somewhere else in Iceland. So I packed everything in this bag that I needed for a full week, and I have a few cheats kind of for you. And also, you really don't need that much. People overthink packing and what you need. Yes, there are some things that I forgot that I wish I had, and I'll tell you about that later. Most of it's personal anyways. So first of all, what did I wear? So that's the most important part. What are you wearing when you go into the airport? So I wore, of course, my sweater. Now, all of you may not have a beautiful sweater like mine,
but I had been to Iceland before and I bought a bunch of yarn and I actually knitted this sweater myself. I'm a big knitter, okay? What can I say?
If you are going to Iceland, you will see these sweaters everywhere. Like the little town right beside the airport, they have a shop with handmade sweaters. I recommend buying that, and that should be your main souvenir. Main souvenir should be one of these sweaters. It is wool and it becomes softer over time as you wear it, so it's a perfect time to soften it up while you're in Iceland, and it's going to keep you warm, I promise. Something about the Icelandic wool is amazing. So I had this on, okay, and I had underneath a like basic thermal shirt. Yes, I didn't wear this in the 90-degree heat in Nashville where I left, but I had this on and I would have this around my shoulders or on my waist. No one questioned it. They treated it like a jacket. I could have brought another jacket too on top of this one, but I actually packed it in my Kanken. So a little reminder, I went to Iceland in September. So it wasn't super cold. It was like 40s at night and 50s during the daytime, and even up to the 60s. And it did rain on us a little bit, but honestly, I was warm the whole time. There was some leggings that were a little lighter, but I had other leggings to put on when I felt cold. I was also wearing my underwear, of course. Don't need to talk about that. I was wearing some of my thick hiking socks. So this is one pair that was kind of like on the thicker side. So I wore these, and I wore some leggings. These were my lighter ones. I also wore some short shorts underneath my leggings in case I got super hot on the plane or something. Most of the time the planes are pretty cold, and I would actually put this on. So this was just kind of like a little extra, and it also kept me a little extra warm when I was in Iceland. I also slept in these, so doubling up on pajamas. I also wore this little skirt just because I'm strange and I like to have a little skirt on. This was a wool skirt, and I always find if I protect my torso area, I'm a lot warmer. I also wore my hiking shoes. So these are the ones I brought. They're the Keens. And I had no problems with these. Yeah, they were pretty much waterproof, and this was fine. So before we get into the bag, I've got some things on the outside. This is a souvenir from Iceland. I've got these straps. They're about $20 on Amazon, and these were worth it. They kept my bag from digging into me at the airport, and I totally recommend them. They don't match my bag, but I didn't really care. So attached on the back, I have like this little wallet thing. This is from one of my other suitcases, and it has like a little chain, and I hooked it on, and I was able to have it as part of my bag. My husband, he just used his pockets but this is where I kept all my valuables. So this is my wallet, passport, COVID thing that no one checked, and wires, so to charge my phone, and some headphones that they gave me on the plane because I forgot mine, and an adapter, and apparently I have some hand sanitizer from the plane too. So all of this was stored in here, and I would have my plane tickets and anything else that was like needed for quick travel. So that counted as still my bag, and it was small, and I could keep everything accessible really easily. I also have this little guy because I keep him when I'm traveling. He comes with me everywhere I go, little Totoro, and I take pictures with him in different countries. So I just hooked him onto my bag, and I have this little elastic thing. Okay, so what's in the pockets? Let's see. I've forgotten. I've been back for a while. I've got a mask with dragons on it. So I didn't wear my mask, or was never forced to wear my mask, but I did wear it on the plane ride over because I could sleep with my mouth open and no one would see my mouth. Got a rubber band here, which I actually used originally to keep my jacket compressed, and I couldn't find it the day that I was packing, and I found it. An eye mask, very important in Iceland to bring some eye masks. I brought this one and I got this one free on the trip, free souvenir. Head earbuds, didn't use them, didn't have a problem. And some mints and some more mints. This helps me when I feel nauseated or feel sick. So that was all my front pocket, which is the only pocket really of the backpack. On the sides, because I have my bag so fully packed, I didn't have anything. I just have one of these again, and gum. And salt and pepper. Oh, more of those little wipies. Definitely can use those later on. More wipes. They gave me so many wipes. Oh, and a snack, just in case I was hungry. I wasn't hungry on the planes, and I'm a vegetarian, so I had plenty to eat. I also had this hooked onto my bag on the outside. It is one of those collapsible water bottles. It looks like a plastic bag. When you fill it up, it fills up with water, and then as you drink, it kind of like deflates. So I had this empty walking through security, and then I'd fill this up, and this would be completely full on the plane. Okay. That's all the pockets. The rest of it is on the inside. So on the inside of my bag here, you can see I had this all zipped up, and I unzipped it, and now we have what I could pull out easily. So right here are my liquids. So basic cleaning supplies for myself. I got a toothbrush, traveling toothbrush, some lotion, which I found really helpful because it was colder in Iceland and my skin kind of freaked out. Hand sanitizer, which apparently I didn't need. A little bit of shampoo that I did not use. So I brought this in case I needed to wash something, including myself. Face wash in a tiny, tiny, tiny little tube. These are super tiny. It's smaller than my hand sanitizer. Sunscreen. Chapstick. Very last drops of some eye drops, which I did use. Toothpaste and some Burt's Bees ointments, which I don't think I used. I used it a little bit. As you can see, my nails are still suffering. And this bag I got when I was in Canada because my other bag broke in another trip. So also I have fluffy socks. So I pulled these out, especially on that long haul flight, and I wore these. I love fluffy socks, so had to bring this. Sunglasses. I didn't use these as much as I did when I traveled in the summer. I went in September, but yeah, sunglasses definitely useful in Iceland. It's really like the sun is just more powerful in Iceland, I swear. Okay, so we'll do this first. This is my little first aid kit. Tums, wipes, hand sanitizers, some like survival things just in case. Wet ones again, some ibuprofen. Hey Mike. Hi. What are you doing? Some Band-Aids. When I was traveling, I actually found a little first aid kit in the car that we rented. Or the van, the camper van. What's wrong? What's wrong? What are you doing? Came to visit. So a little first aid kit. At the bottom here, this is my toiletry bag with some extra things that were not liquids. Pretty much everything was liquid. I've got some floss here, little wipes, and sanitary pads. So, oh, and a file. So just little things in here that weren't liquids. All of the liquids would go in here when I was not on a plane. Little washcloth to wash my face. I love having this around. It helps get off the dirt and stuff. Yeah. Little washcloth. It dries really quickly. That is key when traveling. Everything needs to dry quickly. This is some snacks that I brought. I did bring some snacks. I brought like a power bar. I think this came from our trip. Some tea and some instant coffee. This is sticky now. I don't know why it's sticky. Probably because I also brought my vitamin gummies, but obviously they are used up. So a little bit of food, a little bit of snack to have in case we needed some. Honestly, we were fine without them. You can buy them when you're there. You can buy power bars when you are in Iceland. The extra things here are things for me. I am a big journaler. So this is my travel journal. And so this is my journal from the UK. And then I've got in here now, Iceland. So I did a lot of drawing and writing, recording my adventures. So I'll definitely post this later, but this is definitely an extra. I wish this was smaller, but I'm so happy I brought it. I have all these memories now, firsthand and drawings. So this is definitely the artist in me, okay? And this is all art supplies, so it's really not that much. I've got this little tape thing. Oh, this is something from the airline too, little spoon and fork, okay? Keep that for later. I've got some pens and pencils. Little baby scissors. Little baby scissors that make it through security every time. These guys, these are great. Some watercolor pencils. And a little watercolor traveling kit with a little brush. Water, I would either put water in here or I'd use a little cup from somewhere. And I didn't use this, but this is just like a little book with watercolor pads in it. But I ended up mostly just using my time for this because we were driving. I didn't have as much time like on a train or something while traveling to complete some art. So this was my little art caddy. Everything fit really nice in this bag. I definitely will transfer it now that I'm back home. Oh, here is a little tip from us. If you are going to Iceland, you can bring like your own little salt packets like these. And you don't have to buy like a full thing of salt. Where we got our van, they had like a little area where people put all of their unused items, and there was salt, but it was nice to have salt and pepper and like little seasoning packets. So save those. You might need them for camping or traveling. You never know. I've also got sugar and yeah, some sugar for coffee or something. So I didn't have to buy that. And it was really small, and this could fit like in the side pocket or, you know, just anywhere. Okay, the rest of this is literally, oh, another snack bar. Let's see, some souvenirs. Didn't use this, but this is awesome. It's a stopper, so if you want to take a bath or wash your clothes out, this will stop up the sink. Oh, this thing, in case you sprain your ankle. I always sprain my ankles, so I always bring this when traveling. It's my little first aid kit. So this thing, didn't use this. Oh, this is a bonus bag. I bought one of the bags from Bonus. You know if you know, but this is a souvenir, so I could fit a little souvenir in there. So yeah, now it's empty. The rest of this is mostly clothes. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see what we got here. Okay. We'll get rid of the underwear. So this is souvenir. Boop. My jacket. So all this is a like windbreaker jacket. It's got a little hood and it just zips up and there's some Velcro and it just keeps the rain off of you from getting wet. It is warm because it is like pretty much plastic, but it's not like a feather jacket. It's not super fancy. My warmth came from my sweater. Recommend. So this was more of like a windbreaker and something to keep the rain off of me. And also had a hood, so if it was super windy, right? Windbreaker. Scarf. This was useful too because it was very windy in Iceland, so scarf is a must. Little headband, so I don't like hats all the time, but a hat would have been useful, or a little headband, or one of these like little bandeau things to keep the wind out of your ears. This to put over your hands. I use these a lot. I didn't use my gloves, but I'm sure if it's colder or if you're more sensitive, you can use your gloves. These are just really cheap gloves. Bathing suit. Gotta have a bathing suit when you're in Iceland. I used this like 4 times in just like 7 days, less than 7 days. So bathing suit is a must. The rest of this is underwear. Y'all need to see that. We'll get rid of that. So I did have underwear. I had 2 bras, one that I wore and one that I packed. And I think I had like 7 pairs of underwear. That's all you need to know. Hiking socks. These are some of my thinner hiking socks that are wool. Icebreakers. These were good. Yeah, socks. Socks to wash. This for keeping your phone from getting wet, which is useful and annoying all at the same time. I always end up using it when I'm in Iceland. And these are just fun to have because you can take pictures underwater in the summer, you know, for fun. Iceland, it could get really rainy or wet really suddenly, so I always kept this in my bag in case something happened. I've got a silk undershirt. So these are awesome. They're like silk little undershirts. They're very, very thin, but they're also very warm. So they're winter silks. Fabulous. They're very thin. They can easily get like holes in them, but I wore this with this over it. So it was like I had a nice barrier with my skin when this was still kind of itchy. Now it's super soft because I wore it every single day in Iceland, and it just, it's so soft now. So this is one of the silks. So I was wearing one, this is another one, and this was my other one. So I had 3 different shirts. They are very loose on me. These are a large. I wear a small normally. So I got like, you know, the room for my armpits, and they do not smell at all. Silk is very breathable. You can also get merino wool. So I highly recommend finding a natural fiber that will keep you warm, but also not stink up really quickly. Also easy to dry, right? Yes, these did get dirty, but with 7 days, 3 shirts, I would wear them, you know, every other day, air them out. Is fine, no problem. you won't have a problem. I was also camping, so I wasn't like, you know, there to impress anyone with my fashion skills here. More hiking socks. These were my warm leggings. So these were the fleece ones. They took up quite a lot of space, but they were nice to have. I probably could have done without them and gotten a different pair that was thinner, but I was glad to have them. And these were my other leggings. These were really nice. I highly recommend this brand, 32 degree heat or something. This was great. These kept me fairly cool and warm all at the same time. Recommend. Also recommend this. This is like a hiking, no, this is a camping gear thing. It's a clothing line and it stretches, super cool. And you put your clothes in there and hang them up and they'll dry. So this gave us a lot of ways to hang up our bathing suits and other things that we were using on our trip. So this was really cool. We used this. I never travel without this or this because I can wash my clothes out myself. And I can also, Mike, I can also dry them and they will dry quicker than hanging over a chair usually. So yeah, that is all. That's all I packed. I survived off this for a full week. What did I want when I was traveling? I wanted several things that I couldn't get. I wanted an eraser. I forgot to pack an eraser. Obviously, an eraser would have fit right here. Easy. I wish that I had nail clippers because my nails freaked out with the change of weather really quickly. Lotion helped, and I did have a file, so I survived for a week. It was, again, it was fun. I didn't care about my nails. I was watching beautiful scenery. And I also wish that I had... I wish I had these. I brought these last time to Iceland and a lot of people said like you don't need flip-flops. I wish I had these still. I could not have packed these though because I had my journal. But if you are not like someone that wants to keep a journal or you do it on your phone, you don't need that. So I wish I had these. I could have strapped them on to my backpack and would have had room, or I could have brought a larger backpack. That was another thing. Any school backpack, right? Like think like school backpack. You can bring that on a Delta flight as a personal item. This was small. I could have gone a little bit bigger. So my husband brought a like normal size backpack and it fit underneath his seat, no problem. So I wish I had packed these. And I know people say like, don't bring your own flip-flops, blah, blah, blah. The reason I wanted these was because in the natural springs, I wish I had these instead to take off and wear with my socks. And also while driving, and also just sitting in a car for a long time with these on is not ideal. Plus, you don't want to like have bare feet because it is kind of cold. And also the floor of the car starts to get kind of muddy when you're wearing hiking boots, right? So these are great for like going into stores really quickly or just walking around casual dry days, or even you're going to go into a public pool and you don't want to have to take these on and off, or you're just, you know, more casual, like going to go in a natural hot spring out in the middle of nowhere. Like these are a little bit nicer if you don't have a long hike. So my whole space is a mess now with all the things that I packed for Iceland. This is like pretty raw. It's real. It's doable. Did I do this and regret it? No. I loved having a bag on the back of my back. I was able to go through security really fast, and our connection flight was really tight and we almost didn't make it, and we got through security real fast. I ran without my shoes on to get to the plane, and all I had was this on my back, and that was it. So it was really easy, really quick, and I was able to move and maneuver around in an airport easily, and I didn't have a lot of crap. to carry or worry about. This was enough to worry about, and I felt warm. I had fun. The only thing that made me mad was I didn't have nail clippers to clip my nails. I forgot an eraser, and I wish I had my sandals. That was the only thing. And guess what? I survived. So I've traveled a lot. I've traveled with minimal packing for a long time, but this was the most minimal I've ever gone for a full week to a colder country. So I hope this is helpful to someone. Please look forward to my Iceland video too. I'm not professional or anything, but I had fun just going to Iceland and seeing all the beautiful sights. If you're wondering which camper van I use Camp Easy. They're great. I've never had a problem with Camp Easy. They've been really good. They offer some little free, cute stuff, and I always have a good time with them. Easy to use. It's in the name. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this encourages you if you found out that you bought a ticket and you can only bring a personal item. This is it, guys. Also, part of me is thinking I'm going to travel with a backpack for the rest of my travels. I had such a great time in such a small space. If you are asking, I did bring my phone, which I'm filming on, and I did have like the converter and other things, but they ended up in my husband's bag. They could have fit on the side here too. I carried them over. I just didn't bring them back in my bag. I don't know. So when you're traveling with someone, always talk with each other and talk like who has converters, what kind of electronics are you bringing, etc. So you can share. So I did share a few things with the people I was traveling with. Keep that in mind. Yeah, so I really only needed this and a converter or charging pack. So yeah, this was enough. This was enough. I made it. So yeah, thank you for unpacking with me. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope I answered all of your questions. If you are wondering what I did with something else, it's probably just in my husband's bag, like my deodorant. I don't know. It's in his bag. I don't know why, but all of it could have fit. I had just a little bit more space, and I was able to bring back some crazy, fun souvenirs. So, anyways. See you next time. Look forward to that video in Iceland, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you are planning your own trip somewhere with a Kanken bag, you can do it. I know you can. Bye.